My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2. Random? You better believe the last one's random. Oh wow! I honestly forgot that this was a Fire Heart. Fire is greed. When your buyer takes damage, gain 10 coins. We've got Lady Gilda yet again, as we had her last episode, I believe. We've also got Inspire. This is the Exiled Fireborn and the Exiled Banished following. So we've got Lady Gilda as our lead. We've got Bloated Whelps in the base deck. We've got 5 copies of Inspire as well. 1 valid war units on the floor, so we're incentivized to overstack. We've got 2 copies of Flicker in the base deck, 0 Ember to deal 1 damage to all enemy units on the line, 2 copies of Penitent's Bloodsuit, 1 Ember to 1 Ember to equip the equipment that gives a unit shift take 30 damage, you put it on enemy units, and 1 Ember to size Battle Dancer on shift gain Valor 3. So Fire is greed. When your player takes damage, gain 10 coins. Really good reason to just leave the Vengeful Shards in hand. They'll only do 1 damage to us, but we'll gain 10 coins for it. And especially early on, that's definitely worth it. I wonder if it's possibly even worth leaking units to the top line. We'll see. Oh dear. Friendly units gain Avarice 2 is a lot of gold. Odie's Totem, 1 additional energy per turn, at cost of 3 setup energy. I'm gonna go with Golden Gloves, so that I don't have to pay anything here. You know what? Let's do all Avarice. I did the Gilded Egg last episode, and honestly, I don't know how much better we can do it than that. We had 6 Gildest Eggs go off all at the same time. I'm going to take Lady Avarice this time. Enchant all of the other units on the same floor gain this bonus. Grant Avarice 5, so they'll have Avarice 7 because they'll also have the Golden Gloves. So now I need units that exploit that. So units that do damage to multiple targets or do damage multiple times will be able to benefit from Avarice that many times. By base, we'll probably use Bloated Whelps, as they do damage to all enemy units on the line, so they'll gain 7 coins for every enemy they hit, effectively. I don't have any way of shifting Battle Dancer, so basically, I'm just gonna have one line that's a Shield Steward with a Spear Steward behind it, and I'm gonna play Inspires all over that line. Probably on the very top as well. Bottom line is Lady Gilda with a cycle of Bloated Whelps just to gain additional gold. That's actually really annoying. Enemy units enter with Titan Skin 1. What that means, annoyingly, is that my Bloated Whelps are not going to be able to do any damage to the Forsakens. Realistically, I'm not going to get more than 70 from just using my Bloated Whelps to do that, but it is annoying, because if I was just drawing 1 less per turn, it would be incredible. Okay, so I want Lady Gilda on the bottom line still, and I want you to be able to grant Avarice to as many units as possible. I guess I'm just putting 2 Bloated Whelps behind you and letting them attack. Ugh. Bleh. Battle Dancer is actually one of my worst units at the moment. Spear Steward, and then 2 small size units on the bottom line. You lack damage, because I don't have the ability to shift it, so it doesn't really get any better. Obviously, we leave Vengeful Shard in hand to gain 10 golds. At least Flicker can still get the Collector in the back line. Got him. We'll have you die when you move, Fallen Champion. We might not come out of this fight with a lot of HP, but that's okay. I think that's going to be okay. Just going to straight up end this turn. No, actually. I'll chump a bloated whelp so I can still take out 2 of the line as well as keep my avarice. I guess I could also put Battle Dancer in the front line after sacking both of you. I wish that was giving me money. It would be so cool. This is just to get a little bit more damage on the boss as it comes through. Alright. Thanks for the cash, Fyra. So it's 100% going to be this top line that I need to start inspiring the ever-loving hell out of. Good draw on that Penitent Blood Suit. Flicker was doing a little bit more there. Alas. 2 Fire's Greed for another 20. Oh boy. I mean, at least the boss is losing rage this whole time. Not enough, evidently. Good lord, this Titan skin, I'm paying for it. I am paying for this. Do we still win after this guy runs out of rage? No, we do not. Well, that's what I get for being that greedy. Let me click some buttons again. Oh, okay. Well, this is a run. This is a run right here. Got Penumbra, 5 copies of Inspire, so we've still got the banished, the Exile banished as our allies. However, we are playing the default Umbra as our lead. 2 copies of Making for Morsel, add Morsel minor to your hand. 2 copies of Cleave, 2 Ember to deal damage to enemy units equal to the damage of the front friendly unit. Especially good when you have Penumbra, who can get quite large. And then Crucible Collector, 1 Ember 2 size, Gorge, gain lifesteal 1. Nice. Got Seraph Eternus, Chosen of Dominion, who is going to be adding the Corruption to our units on strike as well. It's Entropy that has Silence. Dominion, I just have to worry about your Corruption, right? Cool. Obviously, 5 copies of Shade Splitter and 5 copies of Inspire in the base deck. Let's launch in. Oh, I was just trying to exploit the Gleed in that first run. All I wanted to do was get out of there with 1 health and I would have been fine. So many upgrades, alas. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not even still thinking about it. It doesn't even show as well. Let's check out the Herzel's Horde. If I get like double gorging, we kind of know what to do. Captain Salo at start of turn. Friendly units gain 2 Valor if they're in front of the room. That is great. Very powerful. Extremely good. Lot of armor. But Mask of Penumbra. When you play the first Morsel unit each turn, draw 1. I love drawing cards. That's just draw a card every single turn. 2 Valor for the frontline unit. Realistically, like that's less than a Divinity's worth. Divinity gains 10 Valor in a single card. Like, over the course of a match, you might not even get that full 2. I'm going to take Mask of Penumbra. I do think Monstrous is a really good idea here. Monstrous especially equipped with Cleaves. Secondary, we've got a Merchant of Steel, Banish, Merchant of Magic, Umbra. Okay, so we got a banished unit, a banner banished unit, and a banner Umbra unit pretty early. I hope my banner Umbra unit is a Morsel creator of some kind. Mind Muddler. I want to winnow down the enemies a little bit. Penumbra, you do want to strike kind of weak enemies on the top line, because you don't have that much health. Let's drop a Shade on the midline for additional HP, as well as card draw. Chime of Despair, so if I use the Cleave, I can prevent a card disruption next turn. Oh, also, I've got Heart of the Pact as my... I always forget you. I literally even forgot to mention that I have you. Heart of the Pact, after playing a card from your primary and allied clan in a turn, draw an additional card next turn. Righto, let's Shade Split with some additional... Ooh, Morsel Miner for 9/9. Those are so good. I think getting as many stats as I possibly can... Oh, that's not going to work, though. No, wait, hang on. The enemy is dead by the time the Magnum Morsel would even attack, so it's not going to die on the Carrying Sixpence spikes. I think giving as much lifesteal as possible, and especially as many stats as possible to the Crucible Collector is probably my most important play right now. I was really hoping to draw Cleave there. I'll be honest, I don't especially want to take that damage. I'm going to drop that Vengeful Shard. Unfortunately... Oh. Thank you, Cleave. Otherwise, we were gonna kind of struggle there. I can't eat that many morsels. Next turn, he'll be healing. Do I throw a spear? No, I want Spear Steward and a Making of Morsel behind Crucible Collector. Huh? That'll do the job. That'll do the job. Mind Collapse. X cost to deal 3x damage to an enemy unit on Slay. Gain 2. Prism Retrieval. X cost consume. This got a lot better, I think, now that it's much easier to fetch Intrinsic and put this in your opening hand. Draw a unit and apply plus 5x damage and negative x to its cost. That said, Entombra Soul, deal 5 damage and on Slay, add 2 uncommon or rare morsel units in your hand. Having a single copy of that in every deck is pretty insane. Selfless Sacrifice, Shift, gain Valor 1 on Resolve, trigger Shift. Now, the reason we might want to take that is because we're going to a Merchant of Steel and a Banished banner immediately, and I'm not going to say all of them, but a hell of a lot of the Banished units have a bonus for having their Shift activated. And I have no way to do that in my base deck, so having a piece of equipment to just throw on them, pretty good. There's also Divinity, which I mentioned earlier, 3 Ember to apply Valor 10. That would be a really good way to just give 10 regenerating armor, as well as 10 damage to Penumbra every turn. Just stacking a lot of Valor on Penumbra Trample would be sick. But I suspect I'm going to have one Monstrous Penumbra line, one Gorging Crucible Collector line, and then I'm going to need one more line, and that final line is probably going to be populated by an Angel. Let me get my Wingblade. With Largestone and Heartstone, like, the Steadfast Crusader is well set up, but I hope I don't get them. So we all know how busted Battle Dancer can be. Shift gain Valor 3. Wild. it's so much health, which is really important because this would be supported on its own line as a frontliner. However, I can't help but notice that Demonic Fledgling doesn't have a Gilded Border and Battle Dancer does. So Demonic Fledgling, 1 Ember 2 size. On strike, gain Valor 1. On shift, gain Rage 2. Now, because you likely wouldn't be in the front line, because you don't gain that much Valor, so you don't really have the ability to take that much damage, you're also not going to gain the armor from your Valor, because only units that end their turn in the front of the line gain the armor. However, you do gain Rage 2 every single turn, which is 4 damage, but you also lose a Rage every turn, so like net +2 if you're... That's less damage than Battle Dancer gets. No, it's Battle Dancer. I'm not gonna... It's just the right choice. What do you want me to do? Large Stone, I think, for a Battle Dancer would be totally appropriate here. Just get him big. Making you a little more sturdy so that I don't have to worry about you dying immediately is pretty nice. There's some argument to make for generating Heartstone, Shieldstone on something just to give it a bunch of defense. There's an argument to make for doing that to the Crucible Collector. I don't want to do it because I do like getting especially quick and multi-strike on you. I'll even note, especially if I get multi-strike, dualism becomes a lot better. Dualism as well. I only learned this a couple episodes ago. As by the by, thank you to a couple of people in the comment section who were clarifying this information for me. Equipment attached to a unit that has dualism has all of its duelist stats bumped too. So, if Windblade was equipped to my Battle Dancer, and then Battle Dancer had dualism, Battle Dancer would say Shift gain Valor 3, and while the Windblade is equipped, it would say Shift gain Valor 2. Another really good reason to have dualism and a slot open for Battle Dancer as well. I think I'm going to hold off here. I think I actually have my frontliner for every line, so I would be re-rolling for damage, and then I'd be disappointed that I can't take the more expensive options. Merchant of Magic Umbra unit. I will say there's a lot I can do there, not only decreasing the costs of the cleave. I will say a cleave every turn, a holdover low-cost cleave, I'd do that. Holdover low-cost high damage Antumbra Assault, same. Same again for Making of Morsel. I'd happily Spell Chain Making of Morsel as well. There's a lot we can do. Although, let me give a small shout out to the fact that Windblade, with the amount of deployable Ember that we have, heading to the Merchant of Arms and getting a deployable Windblade actually slapped. Slaps, I mean. Slapped. I'm talking in past tense. I've already decided that I'm going to do it, apparently. Oh, that was such a good play that I'm considering doing. Battle Dancer, because you are initially more powerful than the other options. Nice. Making Morsel for midline. Draws a card. I can't fulfill the Heart of the Pact this turn, unfortunately. So let me get some additional energy and Gorge for the second line. There's your Windblade. You'll be protecting a Spear Steward for additional damage. And then Shade Splitter will get Heart of the Pact, as well as allow us to kill both Savage Spearmen. Top line's only killing if I use Cleave. Otherwise, I'm taking 10 damage directly to the pyre. You do what you have to do. This is incredible. I'm going to get Morsel Excavator on the top line to give a single stack of lifesteal to Penumbra, who will be able to attack an unprotected Ominous Acolyte next turn. So that'll allow Penumbra to full heal. Which should basically fix us. Oh, wow. 3 Rubble Morsels. I'll take that. And that'll do it. Top line full healed, but it doesn't matter because the Crucible Collector has got it done. Lifesteal for Ember Drain 2 added to a single unit is nice, but it's really hard to turn down packed morsels. Prismal Dust is there as well. Give me the packed morsels, though. Second Windblade? I don't think we take second Windblade. Upbeat Warbler, Enchant Grant Quick. If I take the next Monstrous in Penumbra, you'll be 5 size, so I won't have the ability to put a Upbeat Warbler on your line as well. As much as I do like the Warbler, I think a Divinity, especially considering I'm about to go to Merchant of Magic, I think a Divinity so that I can give Penumbra some regenerating armor is pretty important. Pretty versatile tool as well. Oh! -1 cost intrinsic and Spell Chain. Spell Chain's really good on packed morsels, but I would also want to be able to remove its consume, but even then I wouldn't have the space for all of the minions from it. Whereas like intrinsic making of a morsel and then hitting that with Spell Chain, that's a lot of stats. And it's a great dupe card. For -2 cost consume, I think we throw that on Divinity and then we hope to be able to remove the consume. I don't think plus 20 magic power consume makes any sense to them. Don't you hate when you get what you asked for? Morsel Maker! You make morsels. On resolve, summon an Entumbra and a Magma Morsel. I mean, that just makes the Crucible Collector line take care of itself. Why am I so against it? I think because it's asking me to go capacity, and I'm not chill. Gain a Bone Dog's Pendant or the Bone Dog. On Celebrate, your Pyre permanently gains 10 additional health. This is really early. Yep. Gimme. Archeon, Scion of Savagery. You'll gain Rage 4 on Siphon. Battle Dancer. Crucible Collector. Morsel Maker. And Sombra hits the top line. First turn, the Resolve has not yet triggered, so I can Making of a Morsel twice, throw both of those on the mid line in order to get 18 more stats on the Crucible Collector right before the Morsel Maker is going to expand. I feel like I'm going to need space for morsels on the bottom line, so I'm not going to throw a Spear Steward down there. Bone Dog go behind Penumbra on top line. Penumbra, please protect the Bone Dog with your life. Come back with the Bone Dog or as Bones Dog. And Tumbra for the back line. Excellent. And I suppose I'm going to Inspire, because making Morsel gives me a Morsel Miner I can't really use right now. Oh, this is fun too. I can Shump Block and still get it eaten. Yeah, I think the additional Valor on the top line does still matter. Gonna have to Shade Split. Gotta play it on the only line that can take it. Do I want to chump a full Ansombra to block all hits this turn on the bottom line? That seems incredible. God, do I actually have to go capacity? I mean, if I'm gonna continue increasing the size of the Penumbra, I have to, but I don't want to. No, don't make me do it. That's not draw. Speaking of draw, it is wild that despite the fact that this says my favorite keyword, primary and allied clan, single word, I still can't use it appropriately. I forget about it every single turn without fail. Oh boy. Kind of want that midline to just cleave straight through him. Give him the business. Shade Splitter then triggers Heart of the Pact. Look, I used it correctly. More Inspire for the top line, I think. Hell, this is absolutely double making Morsel bottom line. Right? What a good and powerful card. And then, frankly, the rest of these don't actually accomplish anything. Yeah, right. Fine, it's capacity. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Thanks for the health, dog. 150 coins as well as a rare pack. Oh boy. I will say Blood-Soaked Arena for gain Valor on Slay for a unit that's trampling through is pretty effective in a lot of cases. Tome of the Lost Path. 1 Ember, consume. Apply ability Flight to a friendly unit. Fly the Penumbra down from the top line to be behind the Battle Dancer. I mean, it's not bad, but it's also not good or needed at all. Trample on Crucible Collector, unfortunately, I think. Does that decrease your lifesteal stacks faster? Because it considers each target you've struck as a lifesteal, as a new strike for a lifesteal, or is it per attack that decreases? Good gosh. What is fundamentally our problem right now? We're scaling quite well. Our damage projection's quite low. We're really exploiting cleaves and a little bit of Antumbra Assault to do that at the moment. Umbra Stone would theoretically be our solution to that. It is a bit disappointing here for me not to be able to take that Blood-Soaked Arena, which I do think would be pretty incredible. But it's only incredible when Penumbra is actually getting to kill units, and that's just not happening at the moment. Which maybe means that Penumbra wants to be a backliner for a different line. Damn it. Alright, let me tell you, if this right here, Merchant of Steel, Forgotten Boons, if this unit was an Umbra unit, so another unit that could possibly use Gorge, I would take Tome of the Lost Path, I would get the Penumbra to fly down to the bottom line behind the Battle Dancer, and then I would run the top line as a Gorge floor, and I would not take capacity as a result of that. But it's not. How dare you not be? Demonic Fledgling on Strike gain Valor 1, on Shift gain Rage 2. I think I should take that. I think if I'm taking capacity here, you being a unit to stick behind Battle Dancer is totally appropriate. Don't talk to me about it. You do what you have to do. Pyromane, Celestial, and Merchant Trinkets. Merchant Trinkets, I would be lucky if I got something that I wanted there, which is unfortunate. I will say Merchant of Steel honestly still holds a lot of value for me. Demonic Fledgling would love multicast now, because now you're more of our attacker. I kind of want a second Windblade, but I'm not going to go out of my way to get it. I mean, I know Dualism, Demonic Fledgling is pretty good. Look at the stuff it does, but Windblade. Remember the thing I said earlier? This guy is gonna get 8 Valor at the end of every turn just for existing. I suspect the play here is reroll. Multi-strike. Yeah, I will put that on the Demonic Fledgling, I think. If I ever find a way to shift that bottom line, it's going to be really useful. Health. I think there's a good argument to make for just making Morsel Maker very healthy. And then we leave it. I didn't even look at the banished unit first. That's fine. Yep. I went for the capacity. That's what we're doing with the monstrosity. Start a battle, enemy units appear on each floor, and then they get slain by the respective floors, because I got a lot of them. We got our Penumbra top line, we've got our Crucible Collector Morsel Maker middle line, we've got our Battle Dancer on the bottom line, and a Demonic Fledgling ready to come up behind. Oh. Disgusting. That's a lot of corruption. This is wave 4? This is too much. That's 12 damage every turn to the top line Penumbra. Stinky. Let's do what we can. Spear Steward in the front line, and I'll use an Antumbra Assault. I can protect 9 damage here, but realistically, it is the real problem is going to be the ongoing effects. Some lifesteal on the top line is really nice. It'll help us heal. I'm going to play that there to remove the corruption that would have hit the Crucible Collector, because now 3 of you attack the Antumbra, 1 of you attacks the Spear Steward, who survives. It attacks back. We continue attacking back. We take out all but 1 of the enemies, saving additional health for our top liner. Alright, so now I just need a Morsel Miner on the mid line so that you start gaining some lifesteal, on the top line so that you gain additional HP, and on the bottom line for additional HP and damage. The money is still definitely worth it, but yikes. Can't really do much more with the bottom line right there. Start some Valor. Thankfully, our monstrosity is large. That is not a euphemism. Hit the Divinity on Penumbra. We drop a Shade Splitter for... Ooh. Nah. I'll just drop it on the top line. Yeah, I do want to play Windblade. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to let a Collector go. But the Windblade is pretty justified on the bottom line. Discordant Bell is unfortunately going to do some damage directly to our Pyre. We've got the Bone Dog still in the deck to help us heal the Pyre up. Please, you are trashing so much of my deck. It's really annoying. Oh my god. The Fallen Execution has basically full health as it got to the top line. What? How? That's 5 Profane Supplicants on the field. This is what I was talking about. Our damage projection sucks. There we go. We'll burn out 4 Discordant Tolls, and it's still not enough of them. You gotta be kidding me. go. God damn it. Actually, I can cleave the bottom line. It'll kill all of the... Yeah, all of those little guys. Damage shield and additional health in the midline. I had to take 6 more damage to the Discordant Dolls in order to be able to do that, but at least now we've gotten rid of all of them. Oh, those Scourges! And there we go, the next floor wins. That's enough lifesteal to see us through. Thanks, Bone Dog, for the additional 10 health after that. Feast. Trigger feeding on units with Eaten. Grovel. Apply damage shield 2. And 2 uncommon or rare morsel units in your hand. I think I can take that. And Excavation Eruption. Deal 25 damage to a random enemy unit 3 times. On Slay, gain 2 Ember. Merchant of Arms, Hersel's Horde, Empyrean Well. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a Windblade, and I'm going to dupe it. I'm going to deployable the Windblade, and then I'm going to dupe it. So we're just not playing Morsel Master on turn 1, which is fine. I'll take Grovel. Compelling. Imprison Zephyr. Friendly units advance on strike. So on the bottom line, Battle Dancer would attack, and then the... the Demonic Fledgling would attack and move forward, giving both of them the trigger of their shift at the same time. And then the turn after that, Demonic Fledgling would attack twice, and then Battle Dancer would attack and move forward. The only problem is Demonic Fledgling would be revealing itself to damage it can't necessarily survive. How would I rectify this? If I made one of you quick, how would that resolve? So Battle Dancer is on the bottom line, it's not quick. Demonic Fledgling is. First round of combat, Demonic Fledgling strikes at the very start, moves forward to the front of the combat, attack, attack, then all the enemies attack the Demonic Fledgling, and then my Battle Dancer would attack back and move back to the front of the line. So the Demonic Fledgling is revealed to... Well, the quick unit gets revealed to all of the damage. Although you do get more shifts if one of them is quick. Shield of Wing on Revenge, deal damage equal to this unit's HP to the attacker. I'll note, just throwing that on Battle Dancer, like right now, even before having a Windblade, Battle Dancer just having that, sick. It kills so many things. I think there's a world where I'd take Shield of Wing. Wait. Strike. Apply Valor 2 to friendly units. So Trampling would get more strikes. But I think there's a world where I would take Shield of Wing and I would merge it with a Wingblade. And put it on the Battle Dancer. Imprison Zephyr, friendly units attack on strike. I'll take the Shield of Wing. I'll figure out how to use it. It could just go on the Penumbra on the top line, and that'd be fine. Overgrowth Carapace. On Resolve, gain capacity and +20/+20 if it's available. We have no Small Stone, so that's a little harder to do. Hersel's Horde. Really compelling. We found the attuned Whetstone. On deployment phase, draw an equipment card from your deck, reduce its cost to 0. So, I know what we do here. We take the attuned Whetstone. So we need one deployable wing blade, and then a non-deployable wing blade is going to be merged with the Shield of Wing. So we dupe the wing blade first, because I don't want one of them to be deployable. Then Merchant of Arms, we will upgrade one of you to be deployable, and then we will merge the other two, becoming a very expensive merged equipment, which is also free. I can hold money for a Merchant of Trinkets in the next area, Merchant of Magic. I gotta say, Merchant of Trinkets and Merchant of Magic both pretty impactful to me. I might break the tie towards the Pyre Remains. That's fine. Get him with the hit back. Oh, Cleave is going to be really good this turn as well. What's this hit? Heart of the Pact. I can only put this on a floor where the unit is dying. If I hit you and you damage me with spikes, I will trigger Revenge. Which is why no spikes are going on to Demonic Fledgling, which means that the bottom line is safe to play the Magma Morsel. It's likely to be more impactful there as well. Stack some Divinity on top line and start making morsels. Again, same reason, can't play the Magma Morsels on the mid line. They'll just sack themselves against the Penitent at the moment. You do need additional damage. I'll give you 2 more things to eat. Hell yeah. Very happy to see Cleave this turn. On the line with the Collector, no less. Bone Dog go on top line. Good work, Bone Dog. I mean, realistically, I grovel. I'm gonna grovel on the back line, actually. Yeah, that's right. That's where you need to be. Finally, the Crucible Collector is taking down the Penitent Pressstone in the front, so I can focus on... well, I mean, you're going to hit me, but then I'm full healing from the lifesteal anyway, so I don't need to chump block with the Antumbra Morsel. Damage scaling on the bottom line is a little slow, admittedly. Though I will say, Dualism would absolutely knock the socks off of that bottom line. Titan Skin 5 means that Antumbra Assault by itself would not be enough to kill. As much as I want to burn the Calcified Ember out of the deck right now, playing Morsel Maker and then generating 2 additional morsels is way better. Get revenged upon! The Shield of Wing is really helping us clear our previous difficulty of projecting damage. I would love gain Valor on Slay on this bottom line now, because then the Battle Dancer would just gain a stupid amount of Valor from enemies hitting them. Morsels. Morsels. Yeah, this one's pretty easy. Additional damage on that bottom line isn't really going to change our fortune that much. Dude's just got too much Titan skin right now. Exactly. Now that's what we needed. How much do I care for a Crucible extension? Also on capacity on this floor, ability to generate more morsels. If I get additional draw, which is what I'm going to be taking, additional morsels are obviously good. Sorry, additional morsels will obviously happen, making additional morsel capacity better. Punk Shredder, Enchant Trample. Eh. Retreat the front enemy unit, apply 1 melee weakness to all enemy units. Very good for the top line. That'd be a great defensive spell for us, I think. Like, that, I like having a good target for a Permafrost in every deck, and I think that would be a good target for a Permafrost. On deployment phase, draw a room card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. I love having Dante's Footstool in the attuned Whetstone. So much additional setup. I don't have a room for you yet, but 100% I'll utilize it. Equip units gain armor 10. It's fine. Realistically, the choices between taking that or re-rolling and possibly taking one of 3, because Trader's Quill means nothing to me. So I chose to re-roll. Spells gain an extra upgrade slot. Not bad. But I'm not really doing that much with... I mean, like, I could give holdover to the making of Morsel, and that'd be sick as hell, but... I also don't need that. Blood of the Apex. Permanently gain 2 additional damage on equipment on Slay. That's actually pretty sick, because... this merged equipment... Oh, you don't do any damage. Yeah, because Windblade doesn't do any damage. This can't gain damage, because it doesn't have a damage stat in the first place. Oh, that's so annoying. So yeah, that equipment can't permanently gain 2 additional damage. At the end of the battle, front the units on each floor permanently gain 6 health. Huge. One of the only ways I can give permanent additional health to a champion. Who will 100% be the one to cop that. I don't need a second Bone Dog for the top floor. I do think another Demonic Fledgling for the bottom line would be pretty funny. Do I think it'd be good? Let me pass on that. I think another copy of this making a Morsel, especially considering the fact that we've already gone capacity, makes a lot of sense. It's so that I can try and smooth out the start of our run. Just spike our power a little earlier than I otherwise might. Granted, that is what the super powerful merged equipment is for as well. Oh, sick. Morsel Maker on turn 1. And then, making of many morsels as well. You'd hardly believe it. Let's make one final morsel. This bottom line is doing fine. Completely fine. I think I just need to throw a bunch of stats on this. Next line first. And a little on the top line. I could protect the 22 damage, but I think you're more likely to end up getting lifesteal, so giving you the additional damage I think is probably more important here. Spell shield and damage shield. That nullifies spell shield before it nullifies damage shield, annoyingly. That's not the one I want nullified first. Alright, I'm gonna hit my own rubble morsel. No, I'm gonna go for the spear steward. Morsel excavator. Annoyingly, I really want that lifesteal on the top line more than anything else, but that's okay. Additional damage and lifesteal for the mid line, totally acceptable as well. Additional damage and lifesteal for the bottom line, reasonable, but getting more reasonable over time. Let's give you some additional damage. I need you to be able to project enough damage to be able to take out a fallen executioner, so they're not getting all the way to the top line and having to deal with it in Umbra. He's pretty good for that line. And this line. Gosh. That unit getting to the top line with damage shield is certainly annoying. Yeah, this is pretty much what I'd worried about. That line. Well, at least our bottom line is now capable of taking out an enemy. They're going to be sending 11. It's another 23 damage in the top line there. Oh boy. Additional HP on the bottom line is actually sick because it gives the Battle Dancers Shield of Wing a bunch more damage in response to the enemy. Yeah, damage shield is a nightmare for me. I did not even think it was going to be a problem. Now that the Battle Dancer is appropriately cutting down the bottom lines, everything's fine, but good lord, it cost us some HP to get here. Thank you, Bone Dog, by the way. I would be on... Would I be on 3 health now if I didn't have that Bone Dog? I think I'd be on 3 health right now if I didn't have that Bone Dog. Got to get lifesteal on that big boy. And some more damage on the bottom. Oh, that's not fair. Kale is also giving out additional damage shields. We'll be shade splitting for a chump block on the top line. Now I can full heal, and then you just cleave, just to remove the additional eating. There we go, we got your damage shield down. At least now I can kill you. I'll be honest, I'm surprised the bottom line isn't killing already. I suspect it might with just a couple more Morsel miners. Or not. That's begone, y'all. I mean, yeah, I guess I don't need them to survive on the bottom line immediately. That's fine. Our next lines are more than capable of taking care of it. Oh, hell yeah. Waiting an additional turn was incredible. We burn out the next calcified ember, and then that's the end of the round. $200 gold, a rare card. Cursed Twin Blade. Give multi-strike on strike, lose 1 damage. Penumbra would obviously wear that equipment. Unfortunately, it is a piece of equipment that would try and get drawn with the attuned whetstone, which is a problem. Eagleheart Advance, apply 5 Valor to a friendly unit, then it attacks immediately. Honestly, not bad. Forcing an immediate attack is really useful for us. I'm gonna take Eagleheart. Definitely Merchant of Magic here. Blind Forge to upgrade our champion all the way to Monstrous 3. -1 cost in your transit? On Crucible extension? -2 cost consume. Honestly, I'm fine with having a -2 cost consume on the Grovel, just being able to play it. Permafrost I could spend on... where are you? I could spend on Begone if I really want and hold it for the right time. Holdover and -1 cost on a cleave. Maybe? In fact, I think it's pretty good. Holdover, -1 cost to a cleave, and then double stack for Divinity. Now it's just consumed to apply armor 20 for 1 ember. Friendly units gain Conduit 1 on Slay. The Conduit doesn't really accomplish that much for me. It literally just increases the damage of Antumbra Assault and the Cleaves. Quelling Catcher, 100 gold before the end of the run because it only triggers once, or Wallow's Bloodletter. Friendly units gain 12 damage, deal 1 damage to friendly units each turn. That would be super good with Taskmaster's Lash. You just trigger your cooldowns constantly. Deal 1 damage to friendly units each turn. When does that happen? Does that mean all of my Morsels will always be dead? I think I have to take Klepsydranium, despite the fact that I don't want it. It's fine. It's completely fine. Front non-boss enemy in each wave gains Riano Arte 2. It's fine. Most of them are going to be multi-strikers, and they're going to be hitting this guy and then dying, I believe. Go get the bone dog on the top line. I want to generate additional shade splitters for the bottom line, literally just as minions to attack. Wow, both of them have an attack stat. That's so good. Such unfortunate that all of our units are still going to be silenced while that happens, so they're not going to be triggering any of their stuff. Which is the only reason any of those units are alive, because they all would have died. Definitely needed to trigger Big Divinity there. I just need to get as much health as I possibly can on the Battle Angel. I gotta keep you alive. Especially against all this ridiculous damage you can be taking. Yeah, you literally went down to 1 HP there, buddy. That's not okay. Thankfully, I've got this holdover cleave, so I'm gonna be able now to take down all of the silences as well as all of the other things. The incamped healers in the back line. Most impactful thing to put on the bottom line is going to be additional health for pumping Shield of Wing, as well as keeping our units alive. Entumbra Assault. I like having Lifesteal available for the top line, but let's get a bunch of additional damage on the mid, I think, here first. Even Shade Split for it. No silence for me, thank you. That top line stuff is getting a little tough. I'm gonna have to use this cleave up there this turn just to make sure the Avowed Gladiator doesn't get past us. I'm gonna give 9/9 stats at Penumbra. I'm gonna have to use another spell next turn on the top line as well. That's not good. Nice. Eagle Heart will do it. Two 500s in a row is going to be a real problem for us. I suspect one of them might even get to the top line. The cleave is going to be super useful on the top line when both of them are up there. Of course, this is presuming, although I think it's fair to presume that I'm not going to win on the bottom line. I suspect that is fair to presume, yes. Oh, Regen 20, Spell Shield 2, Rage 8. You gain Multi-Strike as well. Boy. You are mortifying, buddy. So you're doing 60, all the rest of you doing 12, so... No, I can't jump block enough with what I have access to prevent that. Summon Spear Steward on the midline, and then I'm going to hit you with the Antumbra. Nope. I'm going to need health on this midline, and I'm going to need damage on the top line. Oh, boy. I'm pretty concerned by the fact that we're not doing anything to the enemy here. I'll note some concern in that. So you're doing 42 by 3, and you'll lose a rage each turn. I wish I could just remove your stats right now. I'd immediately win. Your rage... It's going to be 6 damage per turn you lose because of your multi-strike. So you're doing 126 right now, which is literally enough to kill the Crucible Collector, but only just. So your second strike against the Crucible Collector would not be able to kill it because of your own rage. So then my lifesteal would be able to match you, and then you come back, and then match you, and then you come back. So I just need to jump block once. Oh my god. Literally full inversion of our battle stats there. I jump block once, and now we completely win the fight, and we lose no health. Incredible. You lose pretty much all of your rage and regen, striking against a unit that's full healing every turn, courtesy of the lifesteal. Hell yeah. Engine upgrade. Lower the capacity of one floor by one size and gain an ember. Honestly, I think that's worth it. Anathon's Death Suit. Shift, gain melee weakness 1, can be equipped to enemy units. Or lead Songbird. Hey, little Songbird. Valor on friendly units adds an additional damage per stack. It's not the additional damage I really need. Penitent's Death Suit, I think, would be okay for throwing on Savagery, so that you get melee weakness every time you ascend, which does double the damage of all of our most damaging minions on that unit. Merchant of Steel, Empyrean Well, card removal. There's certainly a lot of things that I really want from those. First room card, Blade Each Battles, Blades of Wolf Laws. God. That's the downside. Now I don't have a room card. Oh no, Penitent's Death Suit is an equipment. I screwed myself twice right there. Oh, that's such efficient self-screw. I've got to remove the Penitent's Death Suit so that I actually draw my Shield of Wing creation on the first turn, which is just mortifying. Has to be done, though. So we have 7 size on the midline. Crucible Collector almost never needs an additional capacity, but with that Mine Jacks, I would be able to engine upgrade your floor, and it wouldn't be a problem. After deployment phase, summon a random unit from your deck on each floor. No. Valor grants an additional armor per stack is huge. Unit cards without upgrades cost 1 less. I don't really have any without upgrades that I care to play. When a friendly unit gains Valor, it gains an additional stack. I would love both of these, obviously. Celestial Cascade would be incredible for us. Throw another multi-strike on you. I'm gonna... I think gaining an additional 1 per stack is probably more important. Especially because we gain 1 on strike from our 3-striker Demonic Fledgling over there. In terms of removing cards from our deck, we will literally never be playing these Shield Stewards. No reason not to give some additional health to a Crucible Collector just because I can. Finally, Empyrean Well. Single cleave is nice. I'll be honest, the second piece of the merged equipment cycling through the deck that I just throw on our very top line is completely fine, because I'll still draw 1 at the very start of the fight and it'll be free. And then I'll also be able to play 1 on our top line. Which, you know, that's Valor every turn. That's not bad. Realistically, it's 150 damage to anyone who attacks the Penumbra. Are any of the rest of these, like, obviously the right choice instead? Another copy of Demonic Fledgling would be pretty okay for the bottom line, but it blocks my ability to play the Morsels there, and I do have a lot of Morsels now. I could get another copy of Morsel, Making of Morsel, but on the first turn I really wouldn't have someone to play it. I do think it's the merged equipment. Let's go. Doubling the corruption on the front line is going to be really annoying, so we're probably going to have to use a lot of minions for chump blocking stuff like that. A lot of Morsels, rather, for chump blocking stuff like that. Triggers at the start of the unit turn, apply 4 corruption, and then you double it on the unit you attack. So you will kill Bone Dog if I put it in the back line right now. I do want to keep Bone Dog's Pyre health. That would actually be a little bit useful here. But I also do want to chump block on the top floor as well. I also want to play Cleave on the bottom line. Am I going to be chump blocking with Morsel Miners? Is that really what I'm going to do? They're so much more useful. This prevents 9 corruption on Battle Dancer? No, wait. It can't prevent 9 corruption on Battle Dancer on that bottom line, because then it tries to take the damage of the Battle Dancer and do it to the enemies. Ooh. This is okay. We'll figure it out. Oh, God. You know what it should be, actually? I have to sack the Bone Dog on the bottom line. Bone Dog go in front, then Cleave. Takes on all of the corruption. The Blightbound Guardian takes out the Bone Dog, and then the Battle Dancer gets hit by the Heretic, so the Heretic also dies. We project as much damage as we can on the Blightbound Guardian. We get 3 strikes from the... It's so efficient. It's so clearly the better choice. Alas. I'm sorry, pup. You won't be celebrating with us today. Gotta get some stats for our midliner. Excuse me? How on earth am I meant to keep you alive? And how are you dying as well? Oh, that's the huge. So all of these enemies are attacking. So Misshapen Fiend and Misshapen Fiend both attack and then they die, giving us 6 corruption. Then the Blightbound Guardian attacks, 3 more corruption. Then the Deformed Duo attacks, 6 corruption. So we have 15 corruption at that point. Then Seraph Eterna starts its turn, 4 more corruption, and then it doubles it on the Battle Dancer in the front line. How do I even prevent you from doing that? I had to kill all of those units before the turn starts, so I need Cleave? Oh god, engine upgrade is not Cleave. I could jump with a Morsel Maker on the bottom line. I think I have to jump with... I think I have to continue drawing Shade Splitters looking for a healthy Shade Splitter to chump some of the damage with. I'm gonna need to get some lifesteal on the bottom line for later. Ugh. This is bad. This is not good. This could be the start of the end for us. That's a lot of corruption for a unit that's getting more corruption every turn. Demonic Fledgling in the backline's just dying. Just straight up dying as a result of all this. If I'm frank, it's damage o'clock on this midline. I would love the Demonic Fledgling to be able to survive. How do I accomplish that? Incredible question. I'd love to know as well. Realistically, our best competitive option now is buffing the hell out of our midline. But if Battle Dancer dies, get kind of screwed. Why are the deformed duos? Why are these units not attacking? They attack. They should die. Huh? They're attacking the Battle Dancer. The Battle Dancer should be killing them with the Shield of Wing. What's happening? You die, you attack and then don't die. You attack and do die, losing your reanimate. And then there's Golden Heretic. You attack. You oh right, you're taking the current HP of the Battle Dancer in damage, which is not high. Because, oh god. I need you to heal with lifesteal, which you will be doing this turn. Let's get Trample on the midline, because it's going to be useful later. Let's also chump block here to prevent the additional and doubling of the corruption. Our bottom line is threatening to die. We'll throw Spear Steward in the very front to cop the corruption. Oh no, but then the damage projection's bad. God. Straight up cleaving doesn't save him. Our backline unit is going to die this turn, so why don't we just shift you? Allow you to do a bunch of work. Then block the attack for a bit and save the Battle Dancer. I would have loved to chump block on that top floor. My damage is just not scaling fast enough. Yeah, even if I got the cleave earlier, this wasn't going to be enough. Damn it. What I really needed was, God, a lot of things, to be frank. I can play cleave every turn on our top line if I really want to. Sounds like a blast. 72 corruption. Yeah. I wasn't capable of dealing with the corruptions. No matter how high I get my lifesteal, it wouldn't be a good way of dealing with those corruption. Because, like, eventually, in the final wave, this Seraph is just going to be attacking Crucible Collector, and it's just going to be doubling the corruption the entire time. So I'm not even capable of holding that damage off. Good lord, this was so much more deficient than I thought it would be. I'm honestly deeply, deeply surprised by this. This feels like too much corruptions. It's a lot of corruption. In a world where our frontliner is always an important unit, sure, I can chump block for them, but as soon as I chump block for them, I remove my ability to deal damage to the enemies before the turn because I put a chump there and then I can't cleave. God. Disgusting. Damage was never accruing fast enough on the Crucible Collector in the midline. What did I need? Like a lot more removals from this deck? We certainly have a lot of chaff in here. I've got a bunch of Inspires that I literally never get to play. A bunch of Shade Splitters that I only play hoping for certain results. That would have helped us get to cleave much earlier, so I could remove units from the enemy line much earlier. Yeah, I thought I was just going to be able to make my way through the corruption damage and chump block for enough of the time, but, no. The answer to that is no. That's just not going to be the case for us. Mm-hmm. This is the most thoroughly I've been defeated in a while. It hurts! How dare you? I was planning on surviving. So I'm thinking about, because like as Banished Umbra, how am I supposed to deal with Dominion? How am I supposed to deal with corruption specifically? It feels like having a stupid amount of armor is possible through Banished if you exclusively focus on the Valor stack generations and things like that. Having a lot of lifesteal is quite possible in Umbra. Having damage shield is quite possible in Umbra as well. Does that mean that, like, after the first battle, when I didn't take the Prismal Dust, the X-Cost damage shields application, does that mean that's when I lost? How was I ever going to get enough damage shield to provide for this? I do think damage shield is the way that we would have had to go. Unfortunately, that's still not even good for the bottom line. Although I guess cleave and damage shield. Kill all the enemies before they attack and damage shield to prevent against the remaining ones. And then afterwards, the amount of corruption. But so much damage shield you need to be able to apply to do that. Ooh. Big old French egg right there. My name's been Rhapsody. We'll find a way to beat that guy on that clan combination at some point in the future. Whenever it's next randomized. Until then, though, hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. This is Monster Train 2. Series playlist is up in the top left. Special thanks this episode to Disney Mia. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.